Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sri Lankan series. In these episodes we'll be sharing our experiences and adventures with you of this beautiful jewel of an island. We begin in Negombo and spend a few days heading south along the coast as far as Tangal. We stop off at various places along the way and pay a visit to the famous stilt fishermen, something I've wanted to see since I was a child. From there we head inland and up to the mountainous area of Nuwara Elija and Ella, where tea paddies are aplenty and the scenery is just awe-inspiring. We continue north via train and bus, heading through lush landscapes up to Kandy and then up as far as beautiful Sigiriya and the famous Nuwara UNESCO site. From there we make our way back to Negombo slowly, stopping off at Habarana, where we spend a night in a treehouse, and then eventually stop off at Pinawala to see the elephants, my favourite animal, playing around in the River Maha. We met some of the most amazing people along the way, we had some great adventures, we relaxed a little bit, and saw some unbelievable sights. This is our experience of the small island that gives its all. Welcome to Sri Lanka. Okay, so we've just come down to the train station. I've had a quick shower, packed the bags, and we're off to Nuwara Elija. Nuwara Elija? Nuwara Elija. Yeah. This guy's making me say it right, it's very hard to say. We're leaving here to go to Nuwara Elija. It's kind of halfway between here and Kandy, between Ella and Kandy. So here's the train station. We just bought 2 tickets, second class, and it was 300 rupees for both of us, which is just under £2 for both of us. So it's a pretty good deal. I think it's going to be quite busy because the schools are off here at the moment. Hello. So there was a bit of a queue getting the tickets here, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. Fabiola's just gone to get a coffee. We've just bought some roti and some cookies while we wait because we didn't have time for breakfast this morning. So yeah, so we're just waiting for the train and looking forward to it. As you can see, it's pretty busy. So we got second class tickets, as I just said, so we're not quite sure how it works here. Like, we don't know the difference between second and third class. It's quite confusing, so I don't think you're going to have a seat. I think it's just free for all. You basically just get on and hope for the best. So here comes the train. Okay, so we've had a little change of plan. We tried to board the train that we'd booked the tickets for, and it was packed like ridiculous. So we've had no option but to stay here for a little while. There was loads of people complaining to the people at the train station, like, why are you selling tickets? You know, like, when we can't even get on the train. People with kids, families. These guys behind me, they said they're getting a taxi to their destination now because it's so busy. It's a public holiday, like I was saying before, so yeah, it's extra busy. But after speaking to a woman at the train station, she said there's some first class tickets which are reserved seats for the train at 2:15 p.m. So we just come to this little bar here to grab a smoothie, maybe get some food. I don't know what we're just wasting time basically until we get this next train. So we've been waiting for the train for a few hours now, and we brought ourselves to this place. It's called Cafe One Love. Very cool little spot. Just wanted to show you guys it before we leave. This is the rooftop terrace. So it's kind of like, when you look at it without all the furniture, it's like a derelict building basically. It's got a pretty nice view of like the town. So that's Ella Town just down there. It's got these huge like bed things you can see. Loads of bean bags and stuff. Even a little room here. Little hidden thing. So we'll go downstairs. Yeah, so it's just by the train station as well, like a minute walk, so it's very convenient to chill out if you're waiting for the train. There's a couple of beds here. We were down here before, I was tired after the hike, so I had a little snooze on there. Hey, but you do have? Ah, okay. So I'm just doing a little video of the place, yeah? And we go downstairs. No worries, thank you very much. So I just want to show you, can I see the back of your t-shirt? I'm just going to buy one of these t-shirts. Look how cool that is. So he's just told me that they've got some here for sale, so cheers buddy, thank you. Yeah, but look at this little place, man. Got hammocks and just generally chill. And there's a little spot up there, look. And this is the downstairs. We have a bar, nice big bar. Some loca mexicana. Beer. And as usual, dogs. So now it's time to go and get the train. Hopefully we'll get on this one. Take care, buddy, bye. Ice cream van. Here we go, take 2. Let's try and get on this train. Hello. So this is our train. It's looking way less busy. I mean, look at this compared to what you've seen before now. I didn't take any footage of the train, of how busy it was before, but my God, it was like people were almost ready to fight to get on it, you know. But this one, no one on it. Just how we like it. So we're looking for A17, A18. Been stood here for about 20 minutes. We're just arriving at Nuwara Elija. This is our stop, our halfway stop on the way to Kandy. That was a pretty awesome ride. And the obligatory dog. So that was the end of our little train journey. We were going to get the bus, but this guy here has just offered to take us into town. Because he had to bring some people here anyway, he's going back into town, so some more dogs. Dogs all over the place. Let me just show you some of the tea plantation that we can see from here. So we're going to head to our hotel now that we booked this morning. So we've just arrived at our accommodation that Fabiola booked us into. It's called Silver Falls Hotel. So we've booked this place last minute because we got let down with an Airbnb that we'd booked in advance. I best go back and show my face. So this is the room for the night. They upgraded us to a better room because they booked out all the budget rooms which we'd booked. So there's a nice double bed and a single bed. So yeah, some of the areas are called Edinburgh, and let me just show you the balcony while I'm here. It's a nice little view from here. Look, there's a nice little waterfall down there. I think this cost like $25 US a night. So yeah, I was just saying some of the areas they've named after places in the UK, like Somerset, Edinburgh, and Glasgow, I think it was he was saying, which is quite funny. Good morning, everybody. So we had a good sleep last night. We were so tired when we got here in Nuwara Elija. We pretty much just went into town and got some food. Had a little look about, you know, but it was dark when we were there, so we didn't get to see too much. So we're going to head back into town today. We're kind of heading on to Kandy today. The train yesterday, when we missed it, messed us up a little bit with our times of our plans for here. So we've decided to spend the extra bit of time here and get the bus from here to Kandy rather than the train, because the section of train journey we did is supposedly the nicest section. So we've decided to get the bus. But now we're going to head into town. It's supposed to be a very like English town, you know, there's a lot of history of England and Britain basically here, so a lot of the architecture and stuff is supposed to be very, very British. So we're going to go and see that now. So there's a guy here with 2 huge bags of mint. So the bus smells really fresh. So we just decided that we're going to go to the tea factory called PEDRO Tea Factory. I think it's the biggest factory either in Sri Lanka or this area. So, as I'm a tea lover, it's got to be done though. So, okay, so we've just arrived. Well, got off the bus. That's the factory up there. It says PEDRO. I mean, it looks like the one that we saw above Ella. It's kind of almost looks unused, you know, like there's nothing going on, but clearly there is. So we're going to go and see what actually does happen in this place. So we've just been told to come this way, but it's kind of seems a bit strange as just walking through this little place on our own. Yeah, look at this old wagon. Many of these old wagons here. Loads of them are like painted really colourful as well. So I've just come across a dog here that just wants to say hello. These street dogs are so friendly, it's unreal, man. They just come up to you and they just want to fuss. Look at him, look at that little face. Look, he's just looking for my hand all the time. That's why tea is good for you. If you want to pause the screen, have a little read of that. So there's a little bit more information about this place. Again, if you want to pause the screen to have a look. I mean, the whole area is just stunning, to be honest. And there's some tea plantations also right in the distance over there. Maybe it's part of this estate. So before we begin the tour, they've just given us a cup of the tea that they obviously make here. Lover's Leap PEDRO. Fresh Ceylon tea. So we're just about to start the tea tour. And this is the attire that we have to wear. I look like a dinner lady. So this is where they dry all the leaves out. So after the women have picked the leaves, they bring them in here to dry them out. These are like the troughs that they put them in.
Today morning 8 o'clock we pick the tea leaves. Tomorrow morning 8 o'clock it become a tea.
Hi. Okay, so we're just leaving the tea factory now. Unfortunately, we weren't able to film in there. They didn't let you use cameras or video, so we couldn't have shown you the process. But it was very, very interesting, no? Yeah. The way they make everything, the whole process. You just realise how much work goes into making a tea bag, basically. So the next time I have a cup of tea, I'm going to appreciate it a little bit more, I think. Just a couple of figures. The women have to pick 18 kilograms of leaf a day to get their full wage. If they don't pick 18 kilograms, they don't get paid, basically. So, or they have the option of doing overtime, as what we would call it, so that they make it up to the 18 kilograms. So, for a 50 to 55 kilogram sack of leaves to sell to the companies that put them into the tea bags, they sell it for 40,000 rupees. 40,000 rupees for a 50 kilogram sack, which is roughly 170 pounds or 220 American dollars. So, and that's what the companies sell it for. So you can imagine how much these women in the in the fields are getting paid not a lot at all. So yeah, definitely opened my eyes up a little bit to the process, and yeah, like I say, going to appreciate my tea a little bit more now in the mornings back in the UK. So we're heading back into town now. We're going to have a look at a couple more things in town, and yeah, we're just going to wait for the bus. One's just gone past, unfortunately, but I think they run quite frequently. So, and it's hot, 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 hot. Got into Nuwara Elija Town, and there's an old post office here with the old British red post box. So look at this, it's like all brick. Like being back in the UK, you know. Obligatory dog. So this is an actual fully working post office. Very old, very, very old. Hello. Hello. Look, they've got the old letterbox here, which they still use for local letters. So there's a park here called Victoria Park, looks very nice. Just going to go and check that out. Hello, how are you?
Ticket, please.
Ah, we need a ticket? How much for the tickets? 300 rupees, okay, thank you. So they grow plants here as well. It's like a garden that you can walk around, but they also grow in all sorts of plants and flowers and stuff. It looks like there's a little cafe there in the distance. Yeah, pretty nice. All sorts of different trees. Well, we just come across the rose garden, and unfortunately it's not rose season. So, but we've got the odd one here. Look, let me show you. There you go. But yeah, you can imagine this in a few months' time when they've all bloomed. So if you remember me saying a little bit earlier on that it's quite British here. A little bit like being in Chester. This is the beginning. These are just like little bungalows. But there's a hotel up here called the Grand Hotel, which we're going to now. Well, this is the Grand Hotel. I'm a little bit disappointed because there isn't a Welsh flag there. Nah, that's not good. Hello, how are you? Good? Good, good. So every single one of them tins have a different flavoured tea in, basically. Yeah, they get used. We came here and I ordered a pomegranate and blueberry, and then they found it in the wall here and just kind of take it out and make you a fresh cup of tea. Another addition to the hotel is like a traditional British kind of tea garden. All the plants and stuff and all the bushes cut neatly, and you can see down there's a woman on some traditional kind of garden furniture, you know, the old iron furniture that we have in the UK. So yeah, it's kind of like being at home in Sri Lanka. It's a little bit strange. Come to the bar here just to grab a beer and go and sit in the gardens that I just showed you then. But look at this, it's like an old British kind of hotel bar now. Hello. Hi. So here they even have a snooker room. I'm very well, how are you? Very good. Yeah, look at this. 3 snooker tables.
Can you take?
I can, yeah. Thank you very much, cheers, thank you. Oh, so the guy offered to take the beer into the garden for me. But I don't think there's any need for that, they're so helpful, like, it's unbelievable. So you've got like a little lounge area here with a piano. We'll just walk straight down through through the main corridor here. So it's the reception. I mean, look at this, you could be in a swanky hotel in the UK now. Cheers, thanks. Sticking with the traditional beers. So that was the Grand Hotel. So that was the Grand Hotel, and now we're going to go down to the lake. There's a lake here also. We've just found that there's somewhere to eat down there. We're starving, so we're going to kill two birds with one stone and get some food and some views of the lake with this stupid person. So we've just paid 300 rupees each to get into the lake area. Hello. You want a photo? She wants a photo. Say hello. Hello. Say hello to YouTube. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's nice, no? They have little boats, they have jet skis, and not the kind of thing I was expecting to see in Nuwara Elija. I think it almost looks like you can hire boats there too. There's some tea plantation. So in all honesty, when we came to this lake, I wasn't expecting it to be like this. I was expecting it to just be like a lake with I don't know, not much around it, you know, like just a natural kind of lake. But as you just saw, many activities going on. You've got all of these like places to eat here. We've just ordered some food here, so we're going to sit down here and just take in the sights. I've ordered like a chicken and cheese baguette, and Fabiola's just gone to get some samosas and some more like local stuff. So my chicken and cheese sandwich has come, and they put the sauce and the cheese on top here. So anyways, so they planted some new like flowers and stuff here, and they protect them from the sun with these like dried out palm leaves, should I say. So we're just walking back from the lake now, back into the town, and we've just come across this random kind of little fair with all these little stalls with bits and bobs for sale. But it's very random, like there's you got horses here. Clothes for sale. And then a fair that doesn't really look like it's doing much, but so this is the horse racing ground here in Nuwara Elija. So we're just walking back into town, and we've come across this like food market. I think we're going to buy a few little bits for the journey on the train up to the bus up to Kandy. Got a few options here. I'm going to put all of that. Okay, so we hope you enjoyed that section of our adventure. In the next episode, we take a beautiful bus ride from Nuwara Elija to Kandy, where we spend 1 day and 2 nights. While we're there, we walk around the town exploring, as well as trying local delicacies. We visit the lake, where I meet a little or not so little friend. I take a guided tour of the most famous temple in Sri Lanka, the Temple of Tooth, which to this day houses the relic of the tooth of Buddha. Until then, feel free to subscribe, take care of yourselves, and have fun. Peace.